Tonight, as we count down to the California primary next week, we look at the packed race for the 33rd Congressional District. The district covers the West Valley from Malibu down the coast into the Palos Verdes Peninsula and includes Beverly Hills. 17 candidates are fighting for the seat long held by Congressman Henry Waxman. CBS 2 political reporter Dave Bryan looks at the campaign.
If you don't stop.
The field to replace Congressman Henry Waxman after 40 years in the Senate as the representative of California's 33rd Congressional District looks like the charge of the Light Brigade with 17 candidates.
The cool stuff.
Oh, tzatziki.
Tzatziki, yes.
Nothing symbolizes the gridlock in this district like the 405 freeway, which former City Controller Wendy Gruhl says she's ready to take on after last year's disastrous race for mayor.
This is an important seat to really take on some of those critical issues facing this country.
Elections on June 3rd. Make sure you vote.
State Senator Ted Lieu from Torrance may have the strategic advantage since he already represents much of the 33rd District in Sacramento, where he says he worked on many of the same issues he would tackle in Congress, like transportation, education, and climate change. And then, perhaps warming up for the runoff, he took a thinly veiled shot at Gruhl.
I do live in the district. Not all candidates actually live in the district. Some have had to move here.
The district is one of the richest districts in the country. The New York Times called it the Botox Belt. Spiritual life author and speaker Marianne Williamson has raised more than $1 million for her campaign and has a small army of dedicated supporters. She says disparity of wealth and the corrupting influence of big money in Washington will be among her top issues.
It should be the people's house, but the average citizen is locked out. If you don't have either wealth or access to wealth, don't even think about it.
Williamson has support from the entertainment world as well. Alanis Morissette performed at this recent pre-election campaign rally in Beverly Hills. Another candidate, David Knuth, has a video endorsement from LL Cool J.
Knuth vision is exactly what we need in Congress.
Knuth made his fortune in the online content world and then became a public defender.
5 years in the growing small business, and then those 7 years in the public defender's office doing something that's not always the most popular job on the planet.
Matt Miller was the host of Left, Right, and Center, a popular political talk show on NPR. He won the endorsement of the LA Times.
I aspire to play that kind of leadership role and to bring an independent approach to really tackle the biggest problems we face.
Former criminal gang prosecutor Elan Carr is the only Republican in the race who's raised enough money to be included among the leading candidates. But in a campaign with 10 Democrats and 2 independents, that could be a big advantage for Carr.
Of all the candidates in this race, the one most likely to make a difference is I, who will be in the majority. When I'm elected, if the voters send me to Washington, I'll be in the majority. And that means I'll be able to have more of an impact than a congressperson in the minority who's complaining they don't get listened to.
With 17 candidates on the ballot, only 2 of whom have any elective record in office to go on, this could be a difficult choice for voters. And only the top 2 finishers will survive to make the November runoff. In the San Fernando Valley, Dave Bryan, CBS 2 News.
The California primary is next Tuesday, June 3rd. Stay with CBS 2 and CBSLA.com for continuing coverage leading up to Election Night. And be sure to tune in Tuesday for live team coverage of all the major races.